Hello and welcome to our fourth episode of Everyone's a Film Critics podcast. With me, I have my lovely co-host, Alina. Say hi to the people.
Hello, people.
Hello, people. We've been to the cinema again, and we have watched Along Came a Spidey. Spider-Man Brand New Day, the fourth movie in the Tom Holland Spider-Man saga. And we've almost already forgotten, and it's only been a few days since we saw it. But let's get back to that later.
Everyone's a film critic.
Everyone.
Film critic.
Everyone's a
Film critic.
Everyone's a film critic. Everyone's a
film critic.
Everyone.
everyone.
Alina, can you summarize the plot in a few sentences?
Well, as one YouTube commentator put it in the comment section of the trailer, it's Spider-Man far from okay. It's the depressed version of Spider-Man, a bit of a stalking version.
Yeah, so when we meet him now, it's after the events of No Way Home. What happened there was that Doctor Strange cast a spell on the entire world so they would forget Peter Parker. This included his girlfriend MJ and his best friend Ned, unfortunately. So now, since Aunt May died in No Way Home, Spider-Man is very, very much alone. For some reason, Happy Hogan is just nowhere to be found in this movie, even though he's been there in the other ones. So
The
I
John
think
Favreau
strategically, they tried to make Peter Parker really, really alone in this one.
Isolated, yes.
Yeah. I would say he's the equivalent of an incel at this point. I mean, really. He sits by his computer all day. He is a 30-year-old man who has a hard-on for MJ and is jizzing all over the place. So, yeah, I think it's safe to say that he's an incel.
He's web jizzing.
He's wept himself a bit. So about 4 years passes. I don't think it starts 4 years after, but they have this little montage of him sort of just stalking MJ and
Ned.
On the internet. On
Following
Instagram,
their trajectory as MIT students
Yeah.
from the beginning to the graduation. Yes.
while he buries himself in work and kind of becomes a workaholic.
His work being catching criminals.
Thank you for that. Spider-Man, the unknown superhero of the century.
With the help of this organization called Damage Control, whose main purpose is to rebuild the city. It's actually a construction company that rebuilds the city post superhero battles.
Yeah, so this was something that Iron Man set up after the Battle of New York in the first Avenger movie, because they trashed a lot of New York back then.
Very considerate of superhero fantasy.
Well,
to think about the city damage. Very realistic.
he does have one friend, or rather a frenemy, the Punisher, played by John Bernthal. They are not exactly friends to begin with. I think they've been a bit enemies, and then they're kind of treading on each other's territory a little bit. I think the Punisher also wants to be the superhero, but he kind of does it in his own very brutal way, even though he's been Disneyfied in this movie a bit. He's not as
Menacing.
no, and as violent as he's been in the series and past portraits. Spider-Man buries himself in his work and fights local criminals such as the Scorpion and Tombstone. Until one day where he gets a call and a military tank is sort of wreaking havoc in the streets of New York, heading towards one of these departments, centers where there's a lot of criminals held. And when Spider-Man gets there, he realizes it's an old little lady driving the tank. And in fact, she's possessed by some kind of phantom menace who can jump from one person to another. And
It's a telepathic force, yes.
yeah, leaving Spider-Man very confused and fearing for MJ's life eventually. So he decides to hide her with Punisher.
Because the telepathic force discovers that Peter Parker is Spider-Man after reading the letter he wrote to MJ.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Phantom Menace finds Peter Parker's apartment and finds a letter where he wants to give to MJ, confessing who he was, how their relationship was, and catching her up for this moment. And that's sort of what he's been spending the last 4 years, trying to find the right moment to,
Confess.
to kind of reconnect. While all this is all going on, his body is starting to change. And the arachnophobe, no, that's not what it's called, but the arachnic in him is starting to take over. Because he's been working so much and neglecting Peter Parker, basically.
It's basically a spider hormone that takes over his personality and his powers.
Yes. Which results in him being more aggressive and also hypersensitive to sounds, almost debilitatingly so. To figure out what's going on with his body, Peter Parker goes and meets with Bruce Banner,
The Hulk.
who indeed has his own problems with keeping his monster under control. And Bruce Banner doesn't remember Peter Parker as anybody else does. So he helps him, gives him a bit of advice, but also realizes that this kid is not a student in his class because he is way beyond in understanding of technology and science and physics. And I think at this point we have to call spoilers, because it's very hard to kind of move past this point without starting to
Reveal.
explain who the antagonist of the story is.
Everyone is a film critic.
Everyone.
Well, the main antagonist is Jean Grey of X-Men.
Not of X-Men yet.
Not of X-Men yet. Yes, it is a bit strange because at this point she's a teenager, but in
Well, I think it's sort of an origin story a bit.
yes, but in other universes, her as a mature woman is contemporary with Spider-Man. So yes, it's a bit confusing.
But not
At
with
least
Tom
it was-
Holland's Spider-Man.
That is true.
So you kind of have to make a reset. It's a brand new day.
Yes, yes.
We get a background story about her and her sister that is also a mutant. We don't know that word yet, but that's basically what they are. They're sort of Carrie on steroids. Her sister teaches Jean how to
Telepathic jumps.
jump into people. And then the Department of Damage Control kidnaps her sister. And that's what kind of catapults Jean into becoming a villain, to trying to find and rescue her sister. But we don't know that until the very end of the movie, basically. Until then, she's just this Phantom Menace who is haunting Peter Parker.
She is trying to decipher a message that her sister transmits to her telepathically, as in where she's being kept
Yeah.
captive. Yeah.
Flash forward to Jean Grey possesses the Hulk, and there's a big fight between Spider-Man and the Hulk, and the Punisher comes to help Spider-Man fight the Hulk. And it's this big centerpiece of the movie. Fans probably love that. I fell asleep a little bit. But
Me too.
yeah. And then what happens?
And so after the battle with Hulk, Jean Grey arrives at the damage control.
She breaks in there to,
Look for her sister.
yeah, because she thinks that the sister is in this vault that they have. And as she breaks in there, Spider-Man manages to put this little inhibitor in her neck, which takes away her powers. And then she's put in this glass cell, basically, where her sister was also kept.
In the meantime, they test her
They
capacity.
torture her to extract information about her brain waves, basically. And then the tables turn because Spider-Man realizes that she's actually a good guy. And
She is more like an anti-hero, yes.
yes. Well, that pretty much sums up the plot. So let's move on to the review.
Everyone is a film critic.
That was Brand New Day. Alina, what did you think about the movie?
A little meh. There are elements which I liked. There are also elements that left me cold, to be fair.
What did you like?
Well, I liked the aesthetic, at least in some parts of the movie when they made it more comic book-like. I grew up watching Spider-Man, the animated TV series, and the X-Men TV series on Fox Kids. And one thing that always drew my attention and my attraction towards Spider-Man was that he, in my view, he was the stand-up comedy superhero, because he always makes unbelievable jokes. The jokes of Spider-Man are better than anyone else's. No superhero has the sense of humor of Spider-Man.
Isn't he just the PG version of Deadpool?
Yes, I would say so. Very much. Yes. Exactly. I also like Deadpool, but of course Deadpool is way dirtier. But yes, Spider-Man is the PG version of Deadpool. And I love that about him, the fact that he has so also self-deprecating humor and humor in general. He actually makes fun of the dire circumstances that you could say the city is found in. And I didn't see much of that in this movie.
I think it was funnier in Homecoming, the first Spider-Man movie. And they gradually make him darker and darker.
Implying that maturity comes with the lack of humor, which is quite the message.
Grow up and become depressed.
Grow up and be dry, yes.
It's in the vein of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, because in the second movie he takes a turn for the dark side as well, sort of throwing his Spider-Man costume in the trash.
But he's still funny. I mean, there's the iconic
It
dance.
is a darker movie. That's the third movie,
Oh, yeah, true.
when he's back to enjoying himself before he becomes Venom. And I think this movie is taking the same trajectory. I think we will be introduced to Venom in the next movie probably. And possibly even seeing Spider-Man dying. That's my prediction. Because Tom Holland has already said that he's ready to give the mantle to the next person. So
Well, he doesn't need to die for it.
it's sort of in the trend of what superheroes do nowadays. James Bond did it, Han Solo did it.
James Bond is not a superhero.
We can debate that he's a hero at least. So I wouldn't be surprised if he dies, probably in Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars. Because he has to fight his mentor, who is,
Iron
huge
Man.
spoiler alert, Iron Man, now
Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom. That's my prediction. That's where it's going.
Could be.
He has to sacrifice himself this time around.
I could
We'll
see
see.
it.
But in any case, I think Venom is going to be introduced in the next movie.
About this mix of X-Men and Spider-Man, I have seen it in the animated series, actually. It's the X-Men coming into the Spider universe.
That's
Not
another
the
thing
other
that
way
they're
around.
setting up, basically, is that they're going to make a new X-Men movie. And basically, I think they have a 10-year plan for X-Men. And this is the first. This is to introduce us slowly into that universe through Jean Grey. And then after Avengers Secret Wars, they're going to reboot the whole X-Men series.
I like the X-Men storyline very much, actually. It's about outcasts of society that are being experimented on for being mutants, and Dr. Xavier, Dr. X, saves them, basically, from their tragic destiny.
Yes.
I don't remember if the organization kidnapping them was something to the extent of damage control, but it is about this state governmental organization who kidnaps mutants to experiment on them.
Well,
so
they want to
they definitely set that up.
they want to repress their powers, isn't that so?
No, they want to basically steal their genetic configuration in order to build, I think, armies, or to have that power for the government.
Traditionally, in the movies, they want to suppress the mutants' powers because they're too dangerous. And I think that that's exactly what they're going to do here as well. I think that the irony is that Spider-Man, because he had this arachnic DNA that was growing in him, he made this little repressor that he dropped in the department's building. And they're probably going to find it and develop on that
They are
technology.
going to, yes, develop on
I think that's the thing. And I think they're probably also setting up Bill Metzger as a potential villain. In one of the next movies.
Well,
Or perhaps
in this
even
one,
later.
he is the main villain, yes. Underwhelmingly so, I would say.
I think this is why the movie feels so meh.
Yes.
Because there's not a good villain to kind of
No.
to have a satisfying conclusion to the story.
Although I must say, in the beginning, when we're introduced to Jean Grey and what she does telepathically without us knowing that she is Jean Grey, I think it's quite creepy. Like the way, we talked about the fact that it reminds us of Fallen, the film with Denzel Washington, in which the devil took the bodies of different people.
Yes.
And I think it's quite a horror element there, which I really like.
Yeah.
I think it's quite creepy.
It's dark, and I think it would have had potential had they not just tried to set up Jean Grey, the character.
Yes, if they left her at the level of villain, not redeem her.
Yeah, either
towards
make
the
her
end.
full villain or, choose another character,
Yes.
I think. And that is the problem with this movie. It feels like it's only a vessel to set up future installments of things.
It does feel like
not
that.
really focusing on Spider-Man. I mean, personally, I would have loved to have seen a movie where Peter Parker was only Peter Parker and he was depressed and he just was emo the whole movie, crying over
Emo,
MJ.
not emo.
Emo the whole movie and crying over MJ. I mean, why not? Make it super Indian, super small, and super niche.
Yes, I agree. Either go big or go home.
And
Go
they kind of put
homecoming.
one foot in each camp, which is why the movie doesn't really satisfy you when you watch it, and why you kind of forget it quite quickly.
Yes, you also don't get too much of any character. You don't get much of MJ, you don't get much of Ned, you don't get much of Spider-Man, you don't get much of the Punisher, you don't get much of Jean Grey, you don't get much of Damage Control or The Hand. You don't get much of those either. I know there is a separate film about them, but
Directed by the guy who directed Brand New Day as well.
yes, the same director.
So
Yes.
we haven't seen that movie, and probably there are some setups that we have missed, references that we have missed in the Spider-Man movie.
Because the multiverse is a whole...
You cannot keep up because you have to watch
It's a
5
whole
television
reality.
series, 5 Disney shows, and 4 movies just to know what's going on.
Just to know little details, yes.
It's exhausting. The fact that they cannot just make a standalone, strong superhero movie nowadays is
No,
very
because the
frustrating.
corporation is working.
Disney has to Disney.
Yes, full-time, overtime.
But as we just mentioned, there's a new director. And how do you think he managed to take over the realms?
I think pretty well. I liked some of the scenes, some of the shots. As I said, I did like very much the scenes in which Jean Grey travels from person to person and they just, transmit different messages to Spider-Man. I like the shots, the camera twisting and twirling together with Spider-Man
Swinging around.
as he swings between buildings. Yes, I think that was quite masterful.
Right.
Yes.
What do you think about the music in this one?
I like the music very much. It sounded, I did say that it sounded...
The composer is Michael Giacchino, who
also
also
did
did the last.
Batman.
He also did the Batman. He also did the last 3 Spider-Man movies, and he's done some Ratatouille and Up as well. He's a very big, very used composer.
Very talented composer, yes.
Some Star Wars movies, I believe.
It works very much. It mixes elements. The feeling I got was Batman and also X-Men. Like there's this very rhythmic
Yes, percussionistic.
and percussionistic accompaniment that...
But at the same time, he has this very jazzy. The drums are super jazzy, and I just love that. They put out a new Spider-Man theme, which I thought was absolutely amazing. Perhaps a little bit borrowed from John Williams' score for E.T. It definitely borrows some of the same notes, I would say.
Let's
But,
call it an homage.
An homage. But nonetheless, it's quite powerful, and I think it's a very good soundtrack for this movie. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it.
He is a good composer, yes. Yes, I like them. As I said, there are separate elements which I definitely enjoyed. The overall outcome, just meh.
What did you think about the relationship between Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and the Punisher?
Not enough explored, to be fair.
Okay.
I know many people say, "Oh, it's so cute how their dynamic is frenemy dynamic," but we only have maybe 2 scenes of that dynamic. It's not really explored per se because we have too many characters in a way.
You would have liked the whole movie like that.
Yes, exactly, like a frenemy.
But then that
Relationship.
movie is already made, Deadpool and Wolverine. If you think about it,
Yes.
you have the wisecracker and you have the grumpy
Yes.
guy.
Of course,
So
of
they
course.
already made that
Of
movie.
course, there are stereotypes that all these superheroes embody,
Yeah.
especially if they are more, how to say, almost stock characters. Yes. Yeah. Also, there is this scene where Peter Parker reconnects basically with Ned and MJ without them knowing who he actually is. He just presents himself as a neighbor.
Friendly.
To which MJ replies, "A friendly neighbor," but it's very little of that, you know.
We could actually have taken MJ and Ned out of this story, and perhaps even ended up with a stronger narrative than we do, because we have a bit of one foot in the past, even though the title is Brand New Day,
Yes,
and we should be looking forward. We're kind of stuck in the past all the time.
exactly. Perhaps with a different love interest.
Yeah, why not?
Yes.
Everyone is a film critic.
Everyone.
As we always do, we rank our favorite movies that go with the theme of the podcast. And today, of course, we're going to rank Spider-Man movies. So if you should rank your top 3 Spider-Man movies, which would they be? Of all, Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield.
To my shame, I barely remember the Andrew Garfield ones.
No shame there. I don't either.
But as I said previously, I think the best Spider-Man movies are Sam Raimi's. But the best Spider-Man is Tom Holland.
I agree.
So it's hard to rank them because I liked the universe Sam Raimi built and the world building that he did. But at the same time, I like the character of Tom Holland more. And I think we should talk about this, about how Tom Holland plays Spider-Man. Because I think he finds a perfect balance of innocent young adult and the, how do you say, affected superhero.
There's no doubt that he is the most nuanced of the actors that kind of found the right balance between being this, okay, maybe not so young anymore, but sort of insecure, a bit geeky guy, and a bit cocky superhero, you know, with a lot of confidence. Where Andrew Garfield kind of was a bit
It's
too
just
cocky
the
all the way
arrogance.
around. Yeah. And Tobey Maguire, until we met Tom Holland, was perfectly fine. I
Yes.
think, but once now we see Tom Holland and then we go back and see Tobey Maguire, first of all, he's way too old to play that character from the first movie, even. And he's just not, I'm sorry to say, he's just not very charming.
Tobey Maguire?
Yeah.
I found him charming when I saw the first Spider-Man movie in 2002.
But in retrospect,
But yeah, in retrospect, he is more mature. The problem is that, of course, it takes you out of the vision because you also kind of know personal details about Tobey Maguire, which are maybe not as flattering. Yes, so I guess that's kind of, there's darkness about him that kind of doesn't merge well with the innocence of Spider-Man, of Peter Parker, I would say. I think my favorite Spider-Man is actually No Way Home.
So let's rank them. Let's do the top 3.
Okay, so I think No Way Home would be my first because I really love the nostalgia that they. One of my favorite aspects about Spider-Man are the villains. So I love the villains in Spider-Man. Especially my favorite Spider-Man villain is Dr. Octopus, Octavius. Is also because he's played by Alfred Molina, who is so compelling and so full of how to say emotions, and at the same time those emotions are channeled towards evil, let's just say. But I always loved the fact that the Spider-Man villains have a humane part to them, unlike, let's say, the Joker in Batman or some villains in the X-Men as well, who are more one note, just pure evil, and we leave it at that, or insane, or but in Spider-Man, they all have a compelling backstory. The same with the Green Goblin, played up by William Dafoe. And the fact that they brought all those villains back, played by the same actors as 20 years ago, I really love that. And the fact that they brought back the Spider-Man, also Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, and they made a little fun of it. I love the scene in which Ned asks Tobey Maguire if he also had a best friend. He said, but I killed him. It was the James Franco character. I love that. So it was really obviously a fan service, but very nostalgic and very beautifully wrapped up, I would say. So that is why No Way Home is my favorite, even though I had problems. I have big problems with the multiverse and with the introduction of Doctor Strange in that universe and with all of that. Of course, I understand he is a tool for bringing all these characters back, but still annoys me a little bit. I think Madame Web could have been another tool that is more specific to Spider-Man.
We don't mention her name.
Why not? I think in the cartoons she's very
traumas.
well. At least in the animated series I've seen, Madame Web is responsible for merging these universes. And she is way more specific to Spider-Man. So I would have thought that might have been a better way than to unite all these Marvel characters, but you know.
Well, they messed that one up, so it's not going to happen ever in a million years. So yeah,
That's a shame. Yes.
you're number 2 on the list.
The first, Sam Raimi,
Okay.
the Tobey Maguire first Spider-Man would be my second, also for nostalgic reasons, and because coming from the animated series, I was really curious to see how they envision it in film, right? How they translate that to film, and who the characters are, and who is the Green Goblin, and who is his son, and all of that, and Dr. Octopus as well.
I mean, it's easy to forget, but this was one of the very first big superhero movies ever made. I mean, you had Superman back in 78,
And X-Men
and then you had Batman in 89.
in the 90s.
And then the X-Men sort of kicked off the whole new superhero era and around the 2000s. But this is 2002.
And it is the first superhero movie post 9/11,
Yes.
which also
as well.
happens in New York.
Yeah. So there was a lot riding on this movie, and I would say the first Spider-Man movie that Sam Raimi did is absolutely perfect. It's a brilliant movie, on par with Richard Donner's Superman, I would say. I mean, if I had to rank my favorite superhero movies of all time, that would definitely also be up there. What is your number 3?
I don't know. I'm debating if Homecoming, that's the first in the series with Tom Holland, right?
Yes.
I didn't like the Jake Gyllenhaal villain in that one, to be fair.
Jake Gyllenhaal's in the second.
Is he?
The first one is Michael Keaton.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant though, because he doesn't know that, well, he's Liz's father, Liz, played by Laurie Harrier. And doesn't know that Peter Parker, of course, is.
That is true. Oh God, I forgot that completely.
Yeah. I think it's a very good movie. I think it sets up Spider-Man very well, and I think it's a brilliant antagonist for him to have in that movie.
I think my third one would be the second Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Okay.
Also Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I have the same list, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone's a
Film critic.
Let's go further. What are your top 3 superhero movies of all time?
Of all time. Well, number 1 will be Superman, Richard Donner's original Superman. And the second, I'm going to make a tie of Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Those 2 movies tied together are absolutely epic. And it's such a satisfying ending to that, I don't know how many movie arc that they did. And then my third would be, I'm hard pressed to say either No Way Home or the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie.
I'm going to sabotage you here and get you into the depths of despair. What about Tim Burton's Batman?
No, never liked it.
None of them?
I like Batman Returns, the second movie. I like it a lot. But seeing these other movies now, I think as a whole, I like the villains. And that's the thing.
The Penguin and
love
Catwoman.
Penguin and I love Catwoman. But if I have to kind of look at a bigger picture, it's my 4th or 5th.
And what about Nolan's? No? No.
No.
I am struggling here. I would say my third would be the first Spider-Man. I would say my second would be X-Men, Days of Future Past.
Okay. That's also a very good one.
Yes, I love Bryan Singer's interpretation of it. I mean, I know he
Let's not go there.
fell in disgrace, but that scene with Quicksilver in the Pentagon kitchen, played in slow motion on Jim Cross's Time in a Bottle, it's quite amazing. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite scenes in a superhero film. And my first is Tim Burton's Batman Returns.
Okay.
It's very nostalgic to me. I've watched it as a kid, and I love the darkness of it. I love the tragedy. It's a proper Batman movie, I would say. But of course, honorable mentions would also be, I really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
The music is brilliant as well in that one. And of course, some of the Avengers movies, but I don't enjoy when there's so much mixing of superheroes. I get distracted and quite dyslexic about it.
I happen to love the multiverse, I have to admit. I think it can be complicated and can be very convoluted. And it's not always that they manage to, nail it. But I think in those last 2 movies that led up to the huge climax, I think they absolutely nail it. And heroes that I maybe 5 years earlier didn't really care about at all. Probably some of them I didn't even know. I am suddenly in tears over them dying,
Like Iron Man.
Yeah, I mean, I think just that they managed to do that with somebody who wasn't really into superheroes very much. Yeah.
What are your least favorite superhero film?
Well, number 1 is Batman and Robin. That's for sure.
Joel Schumacher's
Yeah.
rendition.
I would say, and number 2 is probably the Marvels. And number 3 is the Eternals.
Okay, I haven't watched those.
Don't.
I actually enjoyed Joel Schumacher's Batman. I can't say it's one of my least favorite at all. Batman and Robin.
Forever.
Batman Forever, yes. Yes.
That one's fun, but mostly because of Jim Carrey, I think. It's super cartoonish.
Oh, yes. I love that. I really like it. And you have these quirky villains like Dr. Freeze, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the
It's camp.
Two-Face.
They definitely
Very
lean into the
campy.
camp aspect of it, which is fun. I mean, it wasn't very much fun to watch them in the cinema. Well, Batman Forever was, but Batman and Robin just was traumatic.
We have to mention that Batman has nipples in that. George Clooney's
Yes,
costume.
I was there.
It's Batman with nipples. Yeah. I would say definitely one of my least favorite is the new Superman, James Gunn's
Okay.
Superman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't
It
quite.
didn't land. It didn't stick.
No.
Suicide Squad, the first attempt at Suicide Squad was not good either.
I didn't enjoy those at all.
I thought the second one was better. James Gunn's Suicide Squad was actually entertaining. It was fun. It had some fun little, because he totally geeked out on all these heroes that nobody ever heard anything about, Polka Dot Man or whatever they were called, and it was fun. Like this was full on geek James Gunn, and I think he's good at that. He's not good at the main heroes. He's not good at Superman. Apparently, even though he didn't direct Supergirl, but that one tanked very badly.
He produced it.
He produced it, yeah. He should stick to those obscure superheroes that nobody knows.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. With all that being said, how would you rate Spider-Man Brand New Day?
It's so middle of the road. It's 3 stars.
Out of
for me.
6.
Yeah.
For
I
me
mean,
too.
it's not a bad movie in any stretch of imagination. It's well crafted. I think on a technical standpoint, I think Tom Holland once again proves that he is perfect for Spider-Man, and he manages to both be Peter Parker and Spider-Man, which is always, I think, the difficult thing for any actor is to kind of have
Embody two
both. Yeah,
two people in one. Yes.
bigger names than him have failed at being Batman and Bruce Wayne at the same time, and Superman and Clark Kent at the same time as well. So he does a very good job. I think he's very competent. And
I agree.
think
Yes.
clearly he's just off the set of
The Odyssey.
Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, and you can kind of tell that he grew a little bit. It's kind of like watching Tom Cruise after he did Eyes Wide Shut with Stanley Kubrick, and then he went on to do Magnolia, and you can tell he grew a bit as an actor. And it's the same with Tom Holland here. I think that he also matured a bit. I think maybe he even outgrew, to a certain extent, the Peter Parker character, and I think he's very much ready to move on.
I agree.
How much would you rate it?
Also 3 stars out of 6.
3 out of 6.
I liked specific elements in it, but the overall result left me quite
Numb.
numb. Yes.
Well, thank you, Alina.
Thank you,
for
Dennis.
a civil conversation. And hopefully we'll be back in a few weeks, perhaps, with The Invite.
Yes. Olivia Wilde's
Yes,
little indie.
which I personally
Film.
look very much forward to seeing.
Me too, actually. Yes. See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Everyone's a film critic.
Everyone.
Film critic.
Everyone's a
The film critic.
Everyone's a film critic.
everyone's a
film critic.
everyone.
Everyone.